It was late when Jenna got the call. The voice on the other end was frantic, trembling. "Jenna, he's back. I saw him again." Her heart skipped. Mark had been her best friend since childhood, but for the last few months, his calls had been increasingly erratic. He told her about a man he saw following him, someone who had been watching him from the shadows, but Jenna thought it was just stress. "Mark, you need to get some rest. This isn't." "No. I saw him tonight. He touched me." Jenna froze. "Touched you?" "Yes. He's cold. I felt it. He's not human." "Jenna, I swear." Jenna's mind raced. She'd heard the stories about people going mad, seeing figures that weren't there. But Mark wasn't the type to make things up. "Where are you now?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "I'm at home, but I can feel him. Jenna, I can feel his hands all over me, like he's waiting for me to fall asleep. I'm scared." Jenna's breath caught in her throat. She'd heard stories of people being stalked by invisible entities, but it had always sounded like nonsense. She told herself it wasn't real. It couldn't be. But then she remembered what Mark had said last week. "I feel something in the room with me. It's not just in my head. I'm coming over," Jenna said, grabbing her keys. The chill of dread crept over her, but she pushed it aside. Mark needed her. When she reached his apartment, the door was ajar. The silence was suffocating. Jenna stepped inside, calling his name. "Mark." No answer. She crept further into the apartment, the air thick with a strange, damp cold. Then she saw him. Mark sat in the corner of the living room, his body hunched, eyes wide and terrified. His clothes were soaked through with sweat, his hands trembling. "Mark," Jenna whispered, kneeling beside him. He didn't respond, but something wasn't right. There was something moving in the room. Jenna could feel it. "Mark, you need to..." Before she could finish, she felt a cold, clammy touch on her shoulder. A hand. Frozen, she slowly turned to find a shadow standing behind her, impossibly tall and thin. His face was pale, stretched to tight, like skin pulled over a skull. His eyes were hollow and his fingers long. Twisted claws were wrapped around her shoulder. "Don't move," he whispered in a voice like breaking glass. Jenna couldn't scream. She was next.